So, good afternoon, all of you. In previous lessons, we have discussed about what is if statement, if else, and if else statements. And in the next class, we have discussed about what is a loop and what are different types of loops available in Python, where we have done a sample programs on for loop and while loop. So, in today's class, we should see what are jumping statements. What are jumping statements? So, in Python programming language, jumping statements are of three types. Jumping statements are of three types. First one is break, second one is continue, and the last one is pass. Break, continue, and pass. All these three statements are also keywords in Python. All these three statements are also keywords in Python. So remember, in conditional statements we have got three keywords like if, elif, else. Okay. In loops we have got two keywords like for and while. And now in jumping statements we have got another three keywords like break, continue, and pass. So in these statements we have read about 8 keywords among 33 keywords in Python programming language. So now we can automatically remember 8 keywords. We can automatically remember 8 keywords. Along with these 8 keywords, in the starting class we have discussed that 3 keywords are speciality. What is the speciality means? True, false, and none are the 3 keywords which are some speciality like the first alphabet of the keyword will start with uppercase letter. So 8 plus 3, 11 keywords. So among 33 keywords, we are very familiar with 11 keywords. Okay. So in today's class, we shall see how to use break statement, how to use continue statement, and how to use pass statement. There is no concept of go to in jump statements of Python programming language. Normally in C language, you are having jump statements in the sense break, continue, and go to. But in Python, there is no concept of go to. We no need to create special label for it in order to execute the program. So simply break, continue, and pass. Okay. Now we shall look what is break. What is a break statement? So this is a break statement. Generally, in a program, if a program consists of a for loop, and in that for loop, if you are going to use a break keyword, okay, consider a for loop, and in that for loop, if you are going to use a break keyword, that means a break statement, automatically that for loop will be getting exited. At the time of for loop, we have discussed that if the condition is true in the while loop also, if the condition is true, that particular body of the loop will be executing n number of times until that particular condition becomes false. Clear? వైల్ లూప్ అప్పుడు ఏం చెప్పుకున్నాం, మన కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకొని కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయితే ఎన్నిసార్లు అయితే కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయిందో ఆ బాడీ ఆఫ్ లూప్ అనేది నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ తిరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది అన్నాం. ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిట్ అవుతుంది అంటే వెన్ ఫాల్స్ కండిషన్ అరైజెస్. But whereas in break statement, first it checks for the loop. First it checks for the loop, while loop. If the while loop condition is true, then it comes into the body. Then it comes into the body. Again, it checks whether break statement has occurred or not. Suppose if a break statement has been occurred, break statement occur in the it automatically starts the execution of the while body. It does not check for any false condition. It does not check for any false condition. So a break statement terminates the loop containing it. A break statement is nothing but a terminating the loop which is containing in it. Okay. And the second point is control of the program flows to the statement immediately after the body of the loop. See, the control goes to the statement immediately after the body of the loop. The break statement can be used in both while and for loops also. So once when we go to the examples, we shall check how break statement is going to be used in for loop and how break statement is going to be used in while loop. Clear? So remember, break statement can be used in both the loops, whereas in while or for loop also. For better purpose, we shall include if condition also. So the combination of our program will be in such a way that we are going to use break statement in for loop with the use of if condition. Okay. So break statement can be done using while loop and for loop also. Okay. Now, suppose if you are executing in nested loops, suppose if you are using a nested loop in the sense a loop containing a loop in it. ఏదైనా ఒక loop లో ఇంకో loop ఉంటే కనుక that is called nested loop. So these 3 points, the starting 3 points of the slide shows normal normal loop. But when we are going to execute a break statement at the time of a nested loop, nested loop లో కనుక బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తుంటే అప్పుడు ఏం జరుగుతుంది అనేది మాట్లాడుతుంది. The break statement stops the execution of innermost loop. Here, so nested loop in the sense a loop containing another loop. Nested loop in the sense a loop containing another loop. Okay, the first loop is called outer loop and the innermost loop is called inner loop. Suppose if a break statement is mentioned in the inner loop, it stops the execution of only the inner loop, not the outer loop. Not the outer loop. So the execution of innermost loop is being stopped and start executing the next line of the code after the block and starts executing the next line of the code after the block. Okay. Now we shall see some sample programs on break statement where we have discussed that break statement can be used in for loop and break statement can be used in while loop also. Along with for and when we shall use if condition also for our better purpose and for easy understanding of the program. So the syntax of the for loop is very clear. B-R-E-A-K, break. Simple. The syntax of the break statement is break. Remember, break is a keyword, and you need to mention that statement in the syntax also in lowercase letters only. Instead of lowercase letter, if you have mentioned any uppercase letter, then definitely it raises a syntax error. Definitely it raises a syntax error. So B-R-E-A-K. The syntax of break is break itself. Okay, that you need to mention in lowercase letters. Why? Because break is a keyword in Python. Okay, this is the flowchart. This is the flowchart. See, if we take this middle part out of this flowchart, the middle part అనేది తీసేస్తే our flowchart will be same as it is like for. Sorry, same as it is like loop. Same as it is like loop. Suppose assume that the middle of this flowchart, this break statement, assuming this break statement is not available in our flowchart, okay, what does it check is it checks for the condition. It checks for the condition. If the condition is true, then if the condition is true, then it enters into the body and performs the execution. Suppose if it is not, then it comes out of the body. Here we have mentioned break statement. Here we have mentioned the break statement. First it enters into the body, it enters the loop where it checks for the condition. That means when the program has entered, when the program has started the execution, it checks for the expression. We are calling it as text condition or text expression, right? Suppose if it is text expression, then it goes into the break. Then it goes into the break statement. If not, it comes out of the loop. If not, it comes out of the loop. ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకొని కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయితే బ్రేక్ అనే స్టేట్మెంట్ వరకు వెళ్తుంది. ఇఫ్ ద కండిషన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఈస్ నాట్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్, అసలు బ్రేక్ అనే కీవర్డ్ దాకా వెళ్ళదు, ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్ దాకా వెళ్ళదు. ఇక్కడ కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయితే ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ బాడీ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఇక్కడ బ్రేక్ అనే కీవర్డ్ వాడుతున్నాం. Suppose if the text expression of the loop is false, then automatically it comes out of the body. Okay. Suppose assuming if it is true, then it comes to the break statement and it does not execute the remaining body of the loop. It does not execute the remaining body of the loop. Okay. Suppose break statement వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ exit అయిపోతుంది. For example, consider a value as 10. Consider a value as 10. 10 అనే వాల్యూ కన్సిడర్ చేసినప్పుడు నేను 5 అనే వాల్యూ దగ్గర బ్రేక్ అయిపోవాలి ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ కన్సిడరింగ్ ఎ వాల్యూ కాల్డ్ 10 వేర్ ఐ నీడ్ టు బ్రేక్ దట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ at 5. Okay, first the condition will be checking for 1. Here the condition will be checking for 1. Okay, నేను ఎక్కడ బ్రేక్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా, 5 దగ్గర బ్రేక్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నా. సో 1 ఈక్వల్ టు 5 కాదు కదా. సో సాటిస్ఫై అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి then it enters into the body and executes the program. So 1 print అవుతుంది, 2 print అవుతుంది, 3 print అవుతుంది, 4 print అవుతుంది. When it comes to the 5, so what I told already to the interpreter is in if condition, when the value has been echoed as 5, I need to break the program. For that purpose, I use this particular keyword called break. Okay, so immediately after this particular break, the remaining body of the loop will not get executed. It automatically comes out of the loop. Okay, loop లో కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయినా ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే బ్రేక్ అనే కీవర్డ్ వచ్చినా the break statement will be getting out of the loop. Clear? కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్, లూప్ లో కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయినా బయటకు వచ్చేసింది. లేదా ఎప్పుడైనా బ్రేక్ అనే కీవర్డ్, బ్రేక్ అనే స్టేట్మెంట్ దగ్గర బ్రేక్ అనే కీవర్డ్ ఉంటే ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఇట్ కమ్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది లూప్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద సింటాక్స్. This is the syntax how we are going to use. Not syntax. This is a procedure where we can use break statement in if in while and for loops. In while and for loops. See, already I told you that in the coming programs, I am going to discuss this break statement by using if condition as well as the for loop also. So break condition use చేసుకొని for loop, while loop ఎలా చేస్తాం as well as by using if condition. The sequence of our program must be like this. The sequence of our program must be like this. In for loop, first we need to mention for loop, and this comes under body of the loop, and this comes under the body of for loop. In the body itself, we need to mention if condition, and in the if condition, we need to mention the break. See, I told you that the break statement, మనకి conditions ఏంటి program అంటే loop నుంచి బయటికి రావాలి అంటే our conditions will be such that first condition is loop లో ఉన్న condition whether the text expression is false. ఎప్పుడైతే text expression false అయిందో అప్పుడు loop నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చేయచ్చు. And the second one is ఆ body of the loop లో ఎక్కడైనా break అనే statement execute అవుతుంది, then we can come out of the loop. These are the two conditions. So here the first chance of coming out of the loop is this for condition. First statement లో కనుక ఏదైనా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోయే ఛాన్స్ లేకపోతే then it comes out of the body. Okay, and the same way break. So the same will be performed in while also. See, in this particular procedure, we are talking about for loop, right? So here the for keyword is used, whereas here we are discussing about while. So here the while keyword is being used. Here it is for and here it is while. The only difference between these two procedures is when we are going to use for loop, we are going to use the keyword for. When we are going to use while loop, we are going to use the keyword called while. Okay. So the main intention is we can use break statement. We can use break statement by using for loop and while loop also. That is the first point. Okay. The number of ways which comes out of the body is, first one is if the condition is false, then it comes out of the loop. Second one is when the interpreter is being satisfied with if condition. If condition satisfy if condition body lo kanaka break అని ఉంటే then it comes out of the loop. Suppose if it is a nested loop లోపల loop ఉంటే the innermost loop will be getting exited, and automatically it executes the next statements of the body. Okay, now we shall look into an example. In this particular example, see, this is an example of break statement. This is an example of break statement. In the third statement, I used the syntax called break. I already told you this particular break can be used using for loop and while loop also. The slide which shows which is now with you is a break statement where we are using for keyword as well as if condition. So the number of chances which comes out of the loop is, where first chance is if this for loop has been failed. If the for loop has been failed, then it comes out of the body. What comes out of the body? Execution comes. Then it comes out of the exit out of the loop. Okay. First one is if the for condition has been failed. Second one is if the if condition has been failed. If the if condition has been failed. Okay. Now let us check out. So for is a keyword. I have taken BL as a variable name. In is nothing but an operator. This is the sequence of characters. IT department is nothing but sequence of characters. Okay. So in the first iteration of the for, it considers I. In the first iteration of for, it considers I. I shall execute this program in IDLE. Okay. We shall execute the program in IDLE, where in comment lines I will mention what is the execution being done there. Go to IDLE page. Go to IDLE. Name this file as sample.py. Don't mention to save the file by using .py extension. Okay. So this is the program. This is the program which we are seeing in the slide. Okay. This is the for loop and indentation, and this is the body of if, and this is print statement. This is new statement. Okay, go to file and save this one. Okay. Now we shall check. We shall check what is happening here in comment lines. In comment lines, in the first iteration of for, I is being considered. In the first iteration of for, the sequence is, this is called the sequence. IT department is called the sequence. In this sequence, in the first iteration, I is being considered. Okay, and in the second statement, it checks for the condition. It checks for the condition val equal to val, in the sense, now in val we have got a value called I. Is I equal to D? Is I equal to D? No, right? I is not equal to D. Since this particular condition is being true, the condition val equal to D na, is I equal to D na? Kaadu kada. So, the body of if not well, the execution does not go into the body of if. What does it do is, it performs the next statement. It performs the next statement. So, ఇక్కడ output ఏం print అవుతుంది మనకి ఇప్పుడు? So, the output here is, first it prints the value called I. It prints the value called I. Okay. Now, let's consider second iteration. In the second iteration, the sequence goes to T. So, here the value will become T. Here the value will become T. Okay. Now since for loop has been running, next it checks for the if condition. If condition, in the sense, the value will be now changed to T. Is T equal to T? Since this particular if condition has failed, the body does not perform the break statement. If condition fail అయిపోవటం వల్ల, the body does not perform the break statement. What does it do is, it executes the next statement. Next statement ఏముంది, ఆ వాల్యూని ప్రింట్ చేయండి అని ఉంది. So T will be getting printed. This is the second iteration. Now consider the third iteration. In the third iteration, in the for loop, the sequence goes to D. So here the value will be D. Here, now come to the if condition. If val in the sense, val is a variable which is holding the value called D. Is D equal to D? Is D equal to D? Since the condition has been true, ఇక్కడ if condition అనేది true అయింది కాబట్టి, it performs the body of if. So బాడీలో ఏముంది, బ్రేక్ అని ఉంది. సో బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వచ్చింది కాబట్టి, the program will be getting exited out of the loop. This is the purpose of break statement. Suppose if I have mentioned Z here, I already told you there are two cases where the program gets exited. Two cases ఉంటాయని మాట్లాడడం కదా ఇందాక, where the program will get exited, in the sense, first case in the sense D వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమైంది, it got printed with I and it got printed with T. When D is equal to T, the condition of if is being satisfied, and in the body of if we have used the statement called break. So the program execution will be stopped and it gets exited out of the loop. This is the first way. The second way is, suppose if I have mentioned here as Z. Here, so I equal to Z. కాదు కాబట్టి I print అవుతుంది. In the same way, T equal to Z. Condition fail కాబట్టి T is going to print. In the same way, D will be printed. E T A R T M E N T. Okay. ఇక్కడ బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ కి రాలేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఈ కండిషన్ ఎక్కడ సాటిస్ఫై అవ్వలేదు కాబట్టి. ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ చెక్స్ I equal to Z కాదా అని చూస్తుంది. సో బోత్ నాట్ సేమ్ కాబట్టి కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఇది పెర్ఫామ్ అవ్వదు, అంటే బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుంది, ఎగ్జిట్ ఆఫ్ లూప్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో IT డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అనేది ప్రింట్ అయిపోయి, ఎప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఫర్ లూప్ అనేది ఫెయిల్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎందుకని, సిన్స్ ఇట్ హాస్ రీచ్ టు ది లాస్ట్ సీక్వెన్స్, T అనే సీక్వెన్స్ కి రీచ్ అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి, the for loop is being exited. ఇంకా తర్వాత ఏం లేదు కదా, T తర్వాత సీక్వెన్స్ ఏమన్నా, since there is no sequence, the execution will get stopped here. Okay, now first we shall check by keeping D here. So when we are going to perform this execution with D, the output will be this. Okay, IT అనేది మా అవుట్పుట్ రావాలి. Go to file, save the program and press F5 button. Go to the IDLE shell prompt to check the output. So this is the output, I and T. I and T. తర్వాత నుంచి ఎందుకు ప్రింట్ అవ్వలేదు అంటే ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయింది కాబట్టి, ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయింది కాబట్టి ఇఫ్ బాడీలో ఏముంది, బ్రేకర్ ఉంది. సో బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏమవుతుంది అక్కడ, ఎగ్జిట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది లూప్, ఎగ్జిట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది లూప్. దిస్ ఈస్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వేర్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ by using for and if loop, by using for loop and if condition, by using for loop and if condition. Now we shall check how can we use a break statement by using if in a while loop, in a while loop. Hope everyone are clear with this example. Hope everyone are clear with this example. So in this example, first the sequence goes to I, is if I equal to D, I equal to D na కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి బాడీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వకుండా ఐ వాల్యూ ప్రింట్ అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఇట్ గోస్ టు టీ, టీ ఈక్వల్ టు డి నా అగైన్ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ హస్ బీన్ ఫెయిల్డ్. సో ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి ఈ బాడీలోకి వెళ్ళకుండా ఆ వాల్యూ ప్రింట్ అయిపోతుంది. సో టీ వాల్యూ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ప్రింట్ ఇన్ ద అవుట్పుట్. నెక్స్ట్ ద సీక్వెన్స్ గోస్ టు డి, ఇఫ్ డి ఈక్వల్ టు డి, డి ఈక్వల్ టు డి కండిషన్ ట్రూ అయింది. సో ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ హస్ బీన్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్. So coming into the body of if break ante it comes out of the loop, comes out of the loop. So there is no chance of printing D also there. There is no chance of printing D also there. Now we shall check how can we execute a program by using break statement in a while loop. By using a break statement in a while loop, I have considered a variable called var is equal to 10. So variable called var is equal to 10 equal to is assignment operator, and 10 is a constant value which is assigned to a variable var. In the while condition, what it is going to check is 10 greater than 0. Is 10 greater than 0? Condition is true. 10 is greater than 0. Condition true. So current value is 10. So this is the body, right? So current value is 10. In the next statement, what does it done is var is equal to var minus 1. So 10 minus 1, 9. 10 minus 1, 9. So I shall execute this program also in IDLE. I shall execute this program also in IDLE and show you what does it do in each iteration. What does it do in each iteration? So consider a variable called var is equal to 10, and this is while loop syntax of while. This is the syntax of while, and var equal to var minus 1. Next I have mentioned an if condition. I have mentioned an if condition, and in if condition is being satisfied, then I am telling the interpreter to break the program. So this is our program. This is our program. Now we shall see. We shall see how the inner execution will be done. Okay. Now the condition is var. So what is the var? What is the value of var is 10. 10 greater than 0. Is 10 greater than 0? Condition is satisfied. Since the condition of while is satisfied, it enters into the body. It enters into the body. Okay. Now the output statement will be like current value is 10. Current value is 10. In the next statement, what does it do is var is equal to var minus 1. Var is equal to var minus 1. So the value of var is 10. So 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. Now it checks for the if condition. It checks for the if condition. In if condition, what it checks is if now the value of var is 9. 9 equal to 8. Is 9 equal to 8? No, 9 is not equal to 8. So since this if condition has been failed, it does not enter into the body. Ikkada if condition అనేది fail అయింది కాబట్టి it does not enter into the body. So in the first iteration, the output will be like this. Current value is 10. In the first iteration, the output will be like this. The current value is 10. Okay. This will be our first line output. Now we shall check. Now in the second iteration, the value of var will be like 9. The value of var will be like 9. 9 greater than 0. Is 9 greater than 0? condition of while has been satisfied. 9 is greater than 0, true. So it enters into the body of while, and the output statement will be now current value is 9. And the output statement will be 9, current value is 9. Okay. In the next statement, var is equal to var minus 1. So in this iteration, 9 minus 1, 9 minus 1, where it gives the value as 8. 9 minus 1, 8. In the if condition, var in the sense 8. Is 8 equal to 8? So here the condition of if is been satisfied. Here the condition of if is satisfied. So it enters into the body of if. It enters into the body of if. Body of if lo emundi ikkada break అని ఉంది. So break statement ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it exit out of the loop. Break statement ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే it exits out of the loop. So the output of this particular program is these two statements. The output of the program is these two. ఎందుకు 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 రాలేదు అంటే ఇక్కడ if condition లో var equal to 8 అని మెన్షన్ చేసాం. The condition has been satisfied. The interpreter enters into the body of if, and the body of if consists of break. Since the break statement is available in the body of if, the program exits out of the loop. The program exits out of the loop. Suppose if I mention the value var is equal to 6. If I mention here var is equal to 6, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది అంటే here this will be printed. The current value is 8 and the current value is 7. And the current value is and the current value is 7. What's happening here is in the next iteration it checks for the if condition like var 6 is equal to 6. When 6 is equal to 6, the body consists of break. So the program will be exiting out of the loop. This is our output. Okay, we shall check the output. So go to file, save the file, go to run and run module. Run module. IDL. See, this is the output of the program. This is the output of the program. Okay. In today's class, what we have seen is how to use a break statement in for, how to use a break statement in while, as well as by using if condition also, also. Now, what shall we do is, we shall see what is continue. We have discussed about break statement using for and break statement using while. Next, what shall we do is, we shall see what is continue statement. So, the main difference between break and continue is, ఎప్పుడైతే break statement అనేది వచ్చిందో, the entire loop will be getting exited. The loop will get exited out of the loop. The interpreter, when the break statement has been arise, the interpreter exits out of the loop. Whereas in continue, break statement ఏం చేస్తుంది, break అని ఎప్పుడైతే వచ్చిందో entire loop మొత్తం ఆగిపోతుంది, run out. But in continue statement, that particular condition only is being ignored. A particular condition అనేది వదిలేసి మిగతాదంతా మళ్ళీ రన్ చేసుకుంటా ఉంటుంది. మిగతాదంతా కూడా it again runs the program. See, in the first point, the continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code inside loop for current iteration only. A current iteration మాత్రమే ignore చేసి remaining loop will be getting executed. See, in the previous example, I told IT department. Since our condition has been satisfied with the T, అక్కడ ఏమైంది I ఒకటి T ఒకటి ప్రింట్ అయింది. D అనే కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయినాక మిగతాదంతా అసలు ఇంక చెక్ చేయలేదు అక్కడ. whereas in while condition I T ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది, D ఒకటి ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది, మళ్ళీ E నుంచి చివరి దాకా మొత్తం ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. Okay, we shall check the example. Before going to the example, the next point is this particular continue statement can also be executed by using for loop and while loop. We can use continue statement in for loop as well as in while loop also. The syntax of continue statement is continue. CONTINUE in lowercase letters only. The syntax of break is break. The syntax of continue is continue. The procedure is like this, flowchart. Same flowchart where I have mentioned in break is been mentioned here, but the only difference is there I have mentioned break, here we need to mention as continue. And the second difference is immediately after break in break statement, it comes exited out of the loop. Whereas here it does not get executed. Here it does not exist out of the loop. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ఆ ఒక్క సిచ్యువేషన్ ఆ ఒక్క ఇటరేషన్ మాత్రమే వదిలేసి మళ్ళా it checks for the remaining all conditions also. See the difference between break statement syntax. Break statement syntax flowchart ఏమైంది, రిమైనింగ్ బాడీ ఆఫ్ లూప్ నుంచి ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయింది, టెక్స్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. whereas here it goes to here and then it goes to text expression. It goes to text expression. What I mean to say is the break అనేది ఎప్పుడైతే మనకు తెలియదో, బ్రేక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అనేది ఎప్పుడైతే వచ్చిందో ఎంటైర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎంటైర్ లూప్ విల్ బి స్టాప్. వేరాస్ కంటిన్యూ అనే వర్డ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, కంటిన్యూ అనే స్టేట్మెంట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు that particular iteration only will be ignored. All the remaining other iterations will be done as it is. All the remaining iterations will be done as it is. So this is the procedure how we can use continue statement in for as well as in while loops. Same, what the procedure is both same, but here I have used continue. In break statement I have used break. The only difference is continue and break. Now we shall check with the example. Okay, I shall use the same example which I already told you for break statement. So stop sharing, go to IDLE, sample.py, remove this program. This is the program. See, in previous example, what we have discussed is here instead of string, I mentioned as IT department, right? The same I shall mention IT department, IT department, IT department. Okay, for val in IT department. Okay, next if condition. In the if condition, the body is continue, and this is for the okay. Now check how the what will be the output of this program. What will be the output of this program? Here, what it does is first it checks the iteration I. First, it checks the iteration I. Next, in the second statement, it checks the condition. It checks the condition whether the condition if val in the sense I equal to lowercase letter I equal to here we shall change this program P. Okay, is I equal to P. Is I equal to P. Okay, is I equal to P? The if condition is been not satisfied, right? So if condition satisfy avaledu kabatti it does not enter into the body of if. Simply it prints the value. So here the value which is going to print is I. The value which is going to print is I. Okay, next come to the second iteration. In the second iteration, the sequence moves to T. In the second iteration, the sequence moves to T. Okay, now the sequence is T. It checks for the if condition. If T equal to P, T equal to P na kaadu. Here the if condition has been failed. So since the if condition has been failed, it does not enter into the body of if. Does not enter into the body of if. What it does it executes this particular statement. So T అనేది print అయిపోయింది. So it prints T. Okay, next it prints D. Okay, next the iteration goes to T. Next the iteration goes to D. The iteration goes to D. If val D equal to D. See, I have changed the if condition. Here in the previous iteration, I have discussed about P. Now I have changed the val equal to this particular character as D. Okay. Why? Because in the previous example, we have discussed the same program by using break statement. Program AV Marla. Program is as it is. which I told previously. The only statement which is changed is third one. In the previously, I already discussed it with break statement, and now I discussed with continue statement. Okay, if D equal to D, D equal to D, condition true in. So here the if condition has got true. Since the if condition has got true, it enters into the body and performs continue. So ఇక్కడ continue వచ్చిన ఇక్కడ body perform అవుతుంది. So the body of if contains only continue. So this alphabet D, this character D will not going to get printed here. Will not going to get printed here. ఇందాక ఏమైంది, ఎప్పుడైతే కండిషన్ ట్రూ అయిందో ఇక్కడ కంటిన్యూ ప్లేస్ లో బ్రేక్ పెట్టారు. సో బ్రేక్ అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి ఐటీ అనేది ప్రింట్ అయింది, ఇంకా అసలు ప్రోగ్రామ్ రన్ అవ్వలేదు. బట్ ఇన్ కంటిన్యూ స్టేట్మెంట్ this particular iteration where D equal to D, in this particular condition only, in this particular condition only, this will not be mentioned in the output, and the remaining characters like E, P, A, R, T, M, E, N, T, the entire execution will be done here. The entire remaining execution will be done using this particular continue statement. Clear? Line లో గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే బ్రేక్ అనేది వచ్చినప్పుడు the next executions ఏమి ఉండవు. It comes out of the loop. It comes out of the loop. Whereas in continue statement, ఆ ఒక్క iteration where the if condition is satisfied, only that particular iteration will not be performed, whereas the remaining operations will be performed as it is. So difference అర్థం అవుతుందా? ఇందాక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను బ్రేక్ అనే కండిషన్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఓన్లీ ఐటీ అనేది ప్రింట్ మాత్రమే అయింది. బట్ in the same example, instead of break, if I am going to use continue statement, this will be our output. This will be our output. D will not be going to get printed. So checking the check by executing this program. Run and run module. Stop sharing this and open. See, our output is this: I T E P A R T M E N T. What happened to D in the sense? That particular iteration is being ignored. Why? Because I use continue statement here. That particular D iteration has been ignored, and the remaining all the other sequence has been executed normally. Okay, that is the main difference between break and continue statements. Okay, now we shall check with the example of continue statement by using while loop. Continue statement by using while loop. Okay, now again go to sample.py, go to sample.py. See, this is the example where we are going to use continue statement using while and if conditions. Using while and if conditions. So now can anyone of you guess what will be the output of this program? Can anyone of you guess what will be the output of this program? How many lines of the program is being going to executed, and what will be the output of this program? Any lines ఉంటుంది, and how does the execution being done? Already I told, we have discussed this previous example by replacing the statement with break. Break statement వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమైంది, 10 print అవుతుంది, 9 print అవుతుంది, 8, 7, 6 print అవుతుంది. When 5 equal to 5 వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ break statement ఉంటే the entire execution will be stopped. But in continue ఏం చేస్తుంది, only that particular iteration will be stopped and the remaining all will be performed. Okay, now we shall check the execution of the program. See, the execution of the program will be like this. First it checks for the condition where in the sense 10 is 10 greater than 0, is 10 greater than 0, 10 is greater than 0, right? So what does it enters into the body, and it enters into the body and checks like where is equal to where minus 1. So 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. Okay, I have taken a variable where the value of the variable is 10. So in the while condition it checked with 10 greater than 0. Since 10 is greater than 0, condition is been true, the execution enters into the body of if. Body of if lo undi where is equal to where minus 1. So 10 minus 1 equal to 9. So the value of where is equal to 9. Okay, next in the condition it checks if if where the value of where is, the value of where will be 10, whether 10 is equal to 5, whether sorry 9, the value of where is 9, whether 9 is equal to 5, whether 9 is equal to 5. Is 9 equal to 5? No, condition has been failed. So it does not enter into the body, and it prints the next statement like output like, and it prints the output like current value, current value 10, current value 10. Okay. Next what does it check is, what is the next what does it check? Current value, current value 9. This is our first line of output. Okay. Next, again it performs the again it goes to the while loop. Now it checks 9 greater than 0. Is 9 greater than 0? Condition is so the screen which we are going to discuss is sample.py. This is our program where 9 is greater than 0. So where is equal to where minus 1, 9 minus 1 is equal to here 8. If 8 is equal to 5, if 8 is equal to 5, since this if condition has been failed, it does not enter into the body of if. So the output will be like current value 8. Current value is 8. Current value 8. Okay. In the next iteration, we shall check with the next iteration where in the sense 8 is 8 greater than 0, 8 is greater than 0. So the condition of while is satisfied. So the condition of while is satisfied. Okay. Next it goes into the body of while where is equal to where in the sense 8, 8 minus 1 in the sense 7. It goes into the if condition. If 7 equal to 5, is 7 equal to 5? No. See, 7 equal to 5. Since the if condition has been failed here, again it does not enter into the body of if, and it performs this particular statement. And it performs this particular statement. So the output will be here like current value 7. Current value 7. Again it goes into the another iteration where 7 greater than 0. Here 7 minus 1 6. Here in the if condition it checks 6 equal to 5. 6 equal to 5. Is 6 equal to 5? The if condition has been failed. So it does not enter into the body of if. What it does is it performs this particular execution. So here the current value will be 6. The current value will be 6. Okay. Next, in the next iteration, it checks whether 6 greater than 0. Is 6 greater than 0? 6 is greater than 0, right? So what where will become is where is equal to 6 minus 1 5. Where is equal to 6 minus 1 5. In the if condition, if 5 equal to 5, is 5 equal to 5? In this particular iteration, the condition of if is being satisfied. In this particular condition, the condition of if is being satisfied. ఇక్కడ if condition అనేది satisfy అయింది కాబట్టి it enters into the body of if లో ఉంది continue అని ఉంది. So this particular statement will not get executed. This particular statement will not get executed. Instead of executing this, it again enters into the body of file and it checks with the 5. Is 5 greater than 0? The condition is false. So where is equal to 5 minus 1? 4. 5 minus 1, 4. Now it checks whether 4 is equal to 5. Is 4 equal to 5? No, right? Then the next iteration will, the next output of the iteration will be 4. In the same way, the output will be 3. In the same way, the output will be 2. In the same way, the output will be 1. The output will be 1, and here the iteration 0 will also be performed. Here the iteration 0 will also be performed. Okay. This is our output. This is our output. In this particular example, we are going to miss only current value of 5. అదే ఇక్కడ నేను break అనే keyword mention చేస్తుంటే instead of continue, if I am going to use a statement called break, then our output will be performed only up to here. Then our output will be performed only up to here. Why? Because break in this sense, it totally exits out of the loop. Totally exits out of the loop. Okay. Now, if I place continue here, if I place continue here, continue, okay. If I place continue here, only the execution of 5 will not be done, and remaining all other will be same. So we shall check the output. Go to file, save, run the module, run the module, stop sharing this file and open. So this is the output of the program. This is the output of the program. 98765. What happened to 5 in the sense? In the program, if condition has been satisfied, in the body of if, there is a keyword called continue. So that particular statement has been terminated, and again the process has been started, and remaining all the other process has been executed. This is the difference between break statement and continue statement. Break statement can be used in for loop and while loop, whereas continue statement can also be used in for loop and while loop also. ఎప్పుడైతే break అని వచ్చిందో, the total loop will be getting exited. Whereas if the keyword called continue has been erased, only that iteration will be ignored and the remaining process will be continued. That is the main difference between break and continue. Okay. Now we shall end today's class here, and in tomorrow's class we shall discuss what is pass statement. What is pass statement? And we shall see some sample programs like how can we calculate factorial, how can we calculate whether the given number is Armstrong number or not, or palindrome or not, reverse of a number, what is a strong number, what is a perfect number. We shall look into pass statement and with the sample programs in tomorrow's class. Okay. Or anyone having queries or any doubts regarding this class? Any queries or doubts regarding this class? Any one of you?